Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. My name's Destiny. We do all kinds of things here, and today we're going to do a library haul. So I did end up in the library again. One of the library books I had last time that we talked, I kept. So I still have the Sterling House, and I'm hoping to start it hopefully tonight. We shall see. It's getting pretty late. As things go, but hopefully I can start it tonight. But yeah, I have one book that's rolling over from the last haul, but I did end up in the library, and I'm really excited for the things I picked up. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm sorry to hear meowing. I'm gonna go ahead and address this firsthand. Salem is with me. She is not happy. She has spent the last at least 48 hours outside. She has made herself into the house, and her and Fred both have decided that they don't like me being away and want to be underneath me. So she is right here. She's sleeping on top of the books, so when I start moving them, she may start meowing. Also, if the sound's not 100% like it usually is, or like it has been since I got my mic died. I am too tired to go hunt down the other one. So we're just doing this with my own phone mic. It should be fine, but I don't know. We shall see. So without further ado, let's get into these books. Ooh, 1 second. Gotta love a 10 o'clock coffee. Okay. So first is one that I'm really excited to get into. I have basically 3 romances and 2 mysteries. So first of my romances is Midnight Ruin by Katee Robert. This is the 6th in the Dark Olympus series. This one is Eurydice, Sharon, and Orpheus. I'm so sorry to pronounce those all kinds of wrong. But this Eurydice, I cannot say that name. I'm not even gonna try again. Our main female character is the sister of Persephone in this series. Things have come to a head. I want to say it's gonna be another throuple, which I'm down for. I absolutely love when she writes triples. And I know that we get a point of view from all 3. So I'm very, very excited for this one. If you've not picked up the series, the first one is called Neon Gods. You're following Persephone, and Persephone goes to a party at like a downtown loft where her mother, Demeter, is trying to marry her off to Zeus. Zeus is not a person, it is a title. And Persephone knows that he may have killed his last couple wives, and she does not want to be on that murder list. So she's refusing, and Zeus's people try to hunt her down. She goes running through the city and ends up on a bridge and ends up in the lower city with the boogeyman, Hades. Everyone in the upper city has believed that Hades is dead, that the title of Hades is no more because the whole family died. And come to find out, that's not true. Hades is alive. He lived. His parents were murdered, but he is alive. And he now is protecting Persephone from Zeus. And the story kind of takes off from there. The next one, Electric Idol, I'm right. That is her sister and the son of Aphrodite end up having to figure things out together. Wicked Beauty is Helen, and it's another throuple. Radiant Sin is a couple, and then Cruel Seduction is actually 4 in a relationship. So I'm excited to get into this one. Next is one that I was going to buy until I saw the library had all 4, and I was just so excited. I went ahead and checked it out, and that is Famine. I am in the middle of war. I like 460. I'm like 460 pages through war, so I'm almost done with war. And now your girl has Famine. Um, if you have not heard of this series, this is the Four Horsemen series. The first one is called Pestilence. You're following Sarah. Sarah has decided that she is going to try to stop the mythical horseman Pestilence from killing everyone. She is a firefighter. Her and her co-workers draw straws. Obviously, Sarah draws the short straw, and so she's going to stay back to kill Pestilence while they all flee. She is offered, one of her co-workers does do the gentlemanly thing and offer to take her place. She's like, no, we agreed. Short straw goes. I got the short straw. I'm going. There is violence, trigger warning for violence. She does do some very violent things to Pestilence, thinks that she has killed him, until she wakes up with his bony hand around her throat and learns that the horsemen cannot die. They will regenerate themselves. So Pestilence decides that since she did not show him any mercy when he begged for it, I mean, this man is begging for her mercy, and she sets him afire. He is ashes when she goes to camp before she runs. That he's not going to show her any mercy, and so he spends the book being pretty awful to her, and she spends the book trying to get him to see that not all humans are awful, and that he's a very black and white way of looking at shit. And yeah, things go from there. In book 2, we follow War. War comes he's in the Middle East. He's in Jerusalem to begin with, and he runs into Miriam, who he now has deemed his wife. He says that God made you my wife. You are my wife. And Miriam's like, fuck you, I'm not your wife. Go fuck yourself. He takes her and now is trying to convince her to be with him. And she's like, fuck you, I want nothing to do with you. You're killing all of us. Stop killing us. And he's like, no, this is my plan. This is my destiny. I'm going to do it. And she's like, no, stop it. And yeah, that's from there. These are smutty, FYI. War is not as smutty. They're not as smutty as some things I read. This one's definitely gonna have more spice than this. But I am not reading these for the spice. I am reading these for the lore and for the world. I am interested. The War is telling Miriam more about why they are there, how they got there, and we are learning more about the horsemen as a whole than Pestilence told Sarah. So you're learning more, and that's what interests me. What makes these men tick? Why are they even there? What is going on in the world? I want to know it all, and now I have famine and I'm excited. Next, I picked up one that I know very little about, and you'll have to forgive me because I really know nothing, and that is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. According to the back, it says Florence Day is a ghostwriter for one of the most prolific romance authors in the industry, and she has a problem. After a terrible breakup, she no longer believes in love. It's as good as dead. When her new editor, a too handsome mountain of a man, won't give her an extension on her book deadline, Florence prepares to kiss her career goodbye. But then she gets a phone call she never wanted to receive, and must return home for the first time in a decade to help her family bury her beloved father. For 10 years, she ran from the town that never understood her, and even though she misses the sound of the warm southern night and her eccentric loving family in their funeral parlor, she can't bring herself to stay. Her father's gone, yet everything else feels the same, and she hates it. Until she finds a ghost standing in front at the funeral parlor's door, and just as broad and infuriating, handsome as ever, and he's just as confused about why he's there as she is. Romance is certainly dead, but so is her new editor. His unfinished business will have her second guessing everything she has ever known about love stories. I am intrigued. I checked this out because of the cover. I had heard so many people talk about it, and I was walking through the romance section. Clearly, your girl was in the romance section, and when I saw this pink, salmon-colored spine on the shelf, I thought, that seems interesting. It's a short, tiny little thing. I mean, it's not very long at all. She comes in just under $4.50. Yeah, she comes in at just under $4.50. $4.45 or $3.45. You're wanting to know. She just comes in under $3.50. Excuse me, $3.45 actually. I want to know, like, what is a ghost? I'm down for ghost stories. I'm down for ghost love stories. Yeah, I'm excited for this. It looks like it has been loved, so I'm assuming that it's so good that somebody loved it so much they carried it around everywhere with them. I understand that feeling, so I have it. Next is one that I went to the library for in the first place. So when I decided to do this library run, I knew I wanted to take everything I had checked out back. I don't like keeping them longer than like the 3 weeks they give me. So unless I'm like dying to get my teeth in it and I'm just stuck in something else and don't want to put that down either, aka the Sterling House, after the 3 weeks I just take it back because clearly I'm not in the mood for it right now. But the great thing about the library is I can always check it out later. And so I had put this one on hold because the title intrigued me and I know nothing about it, and I will not be reading the synopsis to you because I like to go into my murder mysteries as blind as I possibly can. So I put this one on hold. It had came in and was ready for me to pick up, and that's how I ended up with this haul. And that is Antique Hunter's Guide to Murder. I had just seen this everywhere, and I'm curious. I'm very, very curious. I know nothing, to be honest. And we will read the very beginning of the synopsis together because I'm not reading any more than that because I think synopsis for murder mysteries give way too much away. This says Freya Lockwood is shocked when she learns that Arthur Crockleford, antique dealers, and her estranged mentor has died under mysterious circumstances. She has spent the last 20 years avoiding her quaint English hometown, but she received a letter from Arthur asking for her to investigate. Just days before her death, Freya has no choice but to return to the life she's sworn to leave behind. I'm excited. I'm interested. This one comes in under 300 pages, actually, so I may start it pretty quickly. It's 283, so that's not very long at all. These pages are really big type, too, and it looks like we get multiple POVs, which I'm excited for. So, yeah, this is the reason I went to the library in the first place, because this one was ready for me to check out, and I thought, why not? Let's give it a try. Yeah. I absolutely love going to the library for this reason because I can go, you know what? That kind of sounds good. It looks good. The title interests me. Let's give it a try. And if it's not for me, I've wasted maybe 20 minutes of my time at least giving it a try. The last one that I have here is one that I was so excited to see my library had. They got the first one in the series, and so I had asked I didn't see the second one, so I asked the librarian, hey, I noticed you had this first book, and yes, okay, you have the first book, and I was hoping you were going to get the second one. Are you? She asked what the second one was named. I looked it up on my phone, and she goes, oh no, we have it, it's on the shelf. And I said, you do? And immediately ran over there to get it because I needed that in my life, and that is A Game of Lies by Claire McIntosh. This is the second in the, I'm not sure what she's calling the series, but the first one is The Last Party. My copy came from Book of the Month, so if you got The Last Party by Book of the Month that they put out, they're the second one. This follows DC Morgan, am I correct? I'll be really shocked if I'm right. Let's see. I'm right. Look at that. DC Morgan. In the last party, they're on the am I right? I want to say between, I think I'm wrong, and I don't want to sound stupid and be wrong. Yeah, I'm right. So, in the first one, they're following Last Party, and I want to say it's between the English and the Welsh. Like, there's a border, like, where a body gets washed up on the Welsh side of things, and come to find out it came from a new development going in on the English side. And, DC Morgan now has to solve this murder with an English detective trying to figure out who murdered this person. I thought that the Welsh in it was very, very interesting. I listened to the audiobook, which was amazing because you got to hear them speak it, and I learned a lot about that culture. And I love DC Morgan. I found her character to be very entertaining. I'm not usually one for detective mysteries, but this one I loved so much. And so I was looking up series and like trying to get a series tracker together, which I failed miserably at. And when I was doing that, I found out this had a sequel, and I just had to have it. Like I said, I read The Last Party, and now I cannot wait to pick up the Game of Lies. And according to the back of this one, she's actually wrote a third one. I don't think it's a DC Morgan one, but it's called Hostage. And I would like to give it a try too, because I really like her. And it's blurbed by B.A. Paris, which I like her books pretty well. Karen Slaughter has blurbed this. Yeah, I'm down to give this a try. Yeah. It says they're playing to win. They have everything to lose. I cannot wait. And it is blurbed by Alex I'm not going to try doing it. I know I'm going to say it wrong. The author of The Silent Patient, he said, or they said, packed with suspects, twists and turns, Claire McIntosh at her best. I'm down for it. So, there you have it. Those are the 5 that I checked out from the library recently, and the one that I have kept because your girl needed it. What about you? Have you been to your local library lately? You should go. It's a great time. And even if, let's say your local library is not as close as mine, mine's on my way to work. Like, I can swing by on my way to work. You can get a library book, and most libraries nowadays have an online system where you can still borrow books without having to physically go there. I use their audiobooks all the time. Their ebooks, I actually have one on my Kindle right now. I'm about to finish the Crave series. And finally finished that last book. I got it from the ebook system. So yeah, let me know. What was the last library book you checked out? And I will see you on my next one. Bye, guys.